Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Fall Jersey. Joe Archino back here. And one of the things that I'm always pretty adamant about saying, whether it's this show or This Is Why We Stand or any of the entertainment things that I do, is credibility. Credibility is one of the most important words that you will ever come across in life. And if you have credibility, you can really accomplish almost anything you set your mind to in this life because people will buy into you. People will understand that you have heartfelt reasons to do what you do, and they will understand every motivation that you have. With credibility, you can accomplish extraordinary things in the world and help a lot of people. Without credibility in this life, it is extraordinarily difficult to accomplish anything you set your mind to accomplish. And to me, I used that line a couple months ago to describe Colin Kaepernick and his stance in not standing for the American flag and during the national anthem. And of course, it's one of those stories that captivated the entire country from the start of the NFL season to the end of the NFL season. And now the reports are today that he will stand next season for the American flag and for the national anthem. And I think first and foremost, you would probably think that that would make someone like me very happy. And just to give you everyone a little bit of a background, I do another series in addition to the sports ball called This Is Why We Stand. And of course, the name is what it suggests. It really goes through and explains the true meaning of the American flag. Each episode is a tribute to a service member who just defines bravery, and just the stories are as incredible as you will ever find. How these incredible people got through these miraculous situations in war. And I think each one serves as an eternal tribute to that person and to the flag of the United States, which their memory will always be commemorated by. And that's to me why I was so hurt when Colin Kaepernick decided to take the stance they did, and why so many players followed in his footsteps. And of course, now he's backtracking from that, saying that he's seen a lot of positive changes, and that's really opened up him to now wanting to do this. But of course, I think when you look at this realistically, there's a clear reason why he's saying that now. It's because he wants to clean up his image, clean up his reputation, so he'll be more attractable to other teams in the offseason. Of course, that's really what this all comes down to. But kind of back to that word again, credibility. I think sometimes in life, credibility is something that you earn over time. It's built, it's acquired. People see you struggle. They see the hard work you put in. They see the passion that you display. All those things help give you credibility in whatever field it is that you're in. And Colin Kaepernick is one of those people where I think has lost that credibility. And I think now I don't know if he could ever get it back. I would say he probably can't, because there's some times in life where you can get your credibility back. We all run into rough patches. We all struggle. We all have a down moment where our credibility could come in question and things like that. But there comes times where we get so far away from it that we can't ever redeem what we once had. And I think Colin Kaepernick is one of those people where he got so detached from having any ounce of credibility that he just will never be able to get it back. And I think all you need to do is kind of look at what his stance was. And of course, his stance was not standing for the American flag, which was a complete and utter stance against and disrespecting our military, anyone who's ever sacrificed for our country. Right off the bat there, that put his credibility in major, major peril. And then after that, during the election, he kind of started to be very political. And then when it came down to it and someone asked him, well, who did you vote for? He said he did not vote in the election, which again, very, very highly contested election. Many people had such strong feelings across both sides. We know what the outcome of it was, and just the mere fact that he didn't vote, I think, again, destroys any bit of credibility that he had. And I think the ultimate thing which tipped any ounce of credibility he could have ever had or regained or anything like that was with Fidel Castro, when he wore a t-shirt featuring Fidel Castro and Malcolm X. And, it'd be one thing if he didn't open up his mouth and start to talk about why he was wearing it, but then he kind of runs to the defense and defends Fidel Castro, which anyone who follows history, anyone who has any common sense about the world, understands that Fidel Castro was a horrible person. He was a cruel, insane dictator who ruined millions of people's lives, and anyone trying to defend him clearly doesn't have any idea what they're talking about. And I think he kind of fell into that conversation, but it does again come down to that conversation of the importance of credibility. Anyone who's a young person trying to pursue a career in any field, that word really does mean everything. And I think Colin Kaepernick is going to be such a great example of that. And we're going to see him struggle trying to find a position. And it's amazing now when you look at the NFL and the amount of teams that are in need of a quarterback, whether it's short term or long term, someone could use Colin Kaepernick. I mean, look, you could say what you will about the guy, and certainly, you won't find me defending him, but he didn't play terribly last year. The 49ers were a mess, but all things considered, his numbers weren't terrible, and it's not illogical to say that he could help somebody in the NFL. But we heard a lot of GMs come out last season when this whole thing started and say they wouldn't want anything to do with him. Fan bases don't want anything to do with this guy. He might have been awarded some nonsense thing by his teammates, but we saw last season the NFL sweating it out a little bit when their ratings were going down. And one of the big reasons those ratings were going down was because people were tired of seeing this mockery and this stance and this disservice and disrespect to the American flag. People were not going to have it, and we saw the NFL hurting where it hurts most, and that's when it comes down to their ratings. I think it will be very interesting to see where Colin Kaepernick lands. Will he land somewhere? I think he probably will. Obviously, it's going to take time. I think it'll most likely be a team who runs into a desperate situation. But the team that does take him, it's going to be very interesting to see how that thing plays out, because he burned a lot of bridges. And that word credibility, I just don't know if he will ever be able to regain any of that. And it's a great story, and it's a great reminder to everyone of how important that word is. And when you take a stand for something, you better make sure that you do it the right way, because if Colin Kaepernick ever wants to accomplish the things that he wants to, he has done himself a great disservice. He could have taken so many other stances to get his point across and not insult anyone. And that's really what it comes down to. You can be passionate about things, you can believe in things and communicate that belief, but if you do, you got to make sure you're not insulting people who have given you everything in life. And he insulted the people who have died for our freedom. And I think when it comes down to that, there's just no defense and there's just no excuse for it. But until the next time, everyone, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. Thanks everybody for listening, and I'll be back very soon.